Hello, you are welcome to today's lesson. Today we will be looking at natural sciences, the atom. Okay, your presenter is as usual is me, Seydou Razak. All right. Now we are going to look at the atom, and then the subtopic is going to be what building blocks of matter. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to describe matter, explain what an atom is, describe the atoms of an element, and explain why atoms differ. All right. Now, before we continue, let's look at some terminologies that are new to us or some we know. Uh, we are going to look at the atom, which says that an atom is the smallest particle of matter that can exist on its own. We will also be looking at the nucleus, which is the central region of an atom. We will be looking at the element. An element consists of atoms of only one kind. Then we will look at four diatomic molecule. Molecule. It is a molecule that consists of two atoms of the same kind. And then we will look at what a compound. And compounds consist of atoms of two or more different elements chemically bonded together. We will also be looking at pure substance. A pure substance consists of atoms or molecules of the same kind. And then we'll look at a chemical bond. A chemical bond is the force that holds atoms together in a molecule. We will look at electrolysis, which is the decomposition of a compound when an electrical current is passed through a solution of the compound. We will also look at a mixture, which is a mixture is formed when two or more different elements or compounds are mixed. We'll be looking at separation and we'll look at physical separation, which is separation by physical means. Simply is the manual separation by hand or apparatus. We will look at indivisible, that is unable to be divided or cut up. Then we will look at what noble gases. So we shall look at the six gases that occur naturally as atoms. All right, so these were just the terminologies that we shall be looking at or we will be coming across. Now let's look at the atom, the building blocks of matter. Atoms, everything in the universe is made up of what? Matter. The tables you see, the trees, the water, the rocks, the mountains, the animals, in fact, living and non-living things, they are made of what matter. Matter is everything that has mass and can occupy space. All matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. Atom is the smallest particle of matter that can exist on its own. Atoms cannot be created or destroyed. Not all atoms are the same. Not all atoms are the same. Atom A is different from atom B. Anything that is made up of only one kind of atom is called an element. The atoms of some element exist individually, and then some exist with other atoms. The atoms of some elements combine to form diatomic molecule. Okay. And then all objects that we see, the food we eat, the air that we breathe, and even our bodies are all examples of what? Matter. Then matter is the name given to anything that has mass and takes up space. So anything you see around your community, that is matter. Or in your classroom, even the phone you are using, even the laptop you are using, just as mine, they are what? Made up of matter. Okay, atoms are the building blocks of matter. Okay, so what it means is that these small pieces of atoms will combine to give you matter. For example, let's take a piece of chalk. So when you break the piece of chalk into powder, and then a single one of the powder, if you are able to take a very, very minute one, that is the atom of the powder. Now, if you want to build the chalk again, you put all those particles that together, and then you can get what? The chalk. So atoms are the building blocks of matter. Okay, but the atoms are very small and cannot be seen with the naked eye. So what it means is that we cannot we cannot just use our naked eye to see it, we have to use what powerful microscope or apparatus so that we can see it. Single atoms are too small to see with your eyes. Atoms are indivisible and cannot be created or destroyed. Although everything is made up of atoms, not all atoms are the same. Atoms of the same element have the same chemical properties and mass. Atoms of elements can be found individually or in pairs as diatomic molecules. Okay, now let's look at this thing, conceptual development. So as we said, matter is everything that we can see, living or non-living. Okay, guys, can you hear me? So let me just see. Okay, all right. Can you hear me, guys? All right, then let me continue then. Okay, so we're saying matter is everything that we can see, living or non-living. Although surfaces of objects look smooth, they are all made up of what particles call atoms. We cannot see these atoms because they are too small. We can only see atoms when there are enough of them together in one place, and if we have a microscope. All right, a single grain of salt contains, can you count the number of zeros? If you count the number of zeros, 6, 6, 12, 16. That is a trillion, a single grain. So for example, if I should take a sugar, you know, when you take a spoon and then you fetch sugar when you are drinking tea, if you are able to take one single piece of that sugar, that is a single grain, very small one, and you know how much it contains, even if it is salt, let's say salt, little, you take a piece of it, then it contains 1 trillion atoms. Can you imagine how big this word is? Now, if it is money, it means you are going to be rich until you die. Okay, then the word atom means indivisible, which means that an atom cannot be cut into smaller pieces. So you see how the terminologies are coming into play here. All right. Okay, so we are saying atoms of the same, atoms are not the same. Atom of one element cannot be the same as atom of another element, meaning element A and element B are entirely different. So let's look at the periodic table. So whereby we are going to get the examples of elements that we are talking of. So atoms of one element are different from atoms of another element, just as we human beings. Even though we are all human beings belonging to the kingdom Animalia, but you will see that there is one species of human beings that looks entirely different from another one. Now, the same thing applies to what the periodic table. Okay, so let's go to point B. When we look at the periodic table, for example, copper atoms. Can you see copper atom there? Can somebody see copper atom? Yeah. If you can see copper atom, give me which number is copper. If you can see copper, look at the periodic table. I'm referring to copper atom. What is the atomic number of copper? Post your answer for me to see whether you are following the lesson. I am saying when we look at the periodic table, copper atoms, what is the symbol of copper atom? Check for me if you are okay. If you can hear me, what is the symbol of copper atom? All right. I'm asking a question. May you please read it? So we're looking at the periodic table, and I'm saying when we look at the periodic table, copper. So I am asking a question. Can you see copper? What is the symbol of copper? So copper atoms are different from zinc. Okay, so copper atoms are different from zinc atoms. Point. Okay, can you see zinc? Can you see zinc? Okay, zinc. All right. Okay, because they have got what different chemical properties. So the atoms of copper and the atoms of zinc, meaning they are different. Okay, so let's go on. Uh, uh, the atoms of point C, however, all copper atoms are exactly the same. They have the same properties and mass. Okay, let's look at the atoms of the noble gases exist individually. All right, so look at if you want to see the noble gases, let's look at the last part of the periodic table, far right. You can see helium, neon, argon, krypton. Those ones are what? The helium. And they are together, they are called what? Neon. I mean the inert gases or the noble gases. So let's say the atoms of the noble gases exist individually. So from the periodic table, we have helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and then random. Together they are called what? Noble gases or inert gases or the halogens. Okay. The atoms of other elements such as hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen can combine to form what? Diatomic molecules. But see, the noble gases cannot combine to go to what? To form diatomic molecules because their outermost shells are already filled up, so they cannot share. Okay, so you take note. So the atoms of other elements such as hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen combine to form what? Molecules, which are diatomic, meaning a nitrogen atom plus another nitrogen atom will give me what? Nitrogen gas, which is what? N2. So this is just a summary or a picture of the periodic table indicating the what? Metals and non-metals and even what? Semi-metals. So as you can see, this is the periodic table of elements. Most metals are found on the right hand side of the periodic table. And then the metals are found on the what? Left hand side. Okay. All right. So you can see. All right. So let's go on. Is there, guys, do you have any question on the periodic table or I can continue? Okay, yeah, I can see, I mean copper. All right, copper 29, yes, it's 29. All right, then the guys, you are following. So let's continue. All right, now you see atoms of helium. Can you see the picture on my left-hand side? We are saying the noble gases, which is made up of what? Helium, neon, and argon. They cannot form what? Diatomic. They exist individually. Why do they exist individually? Because they cannot trap other particles. Okay. Now we are talking of what? Diatomic molecules of hydrogen. So you can see that they are two. All right. I hope you are following. So if you have a question, you can ask on the diagram on my left hand side. So we are simply illustrating or representing what? The helium atoms. We are saying they exist in isolation. They are single. It's not like the diatomic molecule in which you are seeing these two dotted black or two dot black or cycle. Yes. So because they are two, it means they are able to interact with each other or the same atom of its own kind so that you can get what? The diatomic molecule. And remember that all diatomic molecules are gases. All right. Let's go to the next. Okay. All right, guys, do you have any question regarding to You are confused in the diagram. Okay, Tiana, can you ask your question? Why are you confused? Why are you confused? Ask your question so that I will address it. I'm here to explain to you. Why are you confused? Okay, I'm waiting for your questions. Why are you confused? You do not understand the table. Okay, all right. Okay, it's fine. Yes, human beings, human beings are made up of what? Matter. So because we are made up of matter, yes, we will be made up of what? Atoms. Remember? Yes. Okay. What is the difference between the two? Because they are in one line. Okay. So let me explain that. Okay. Somebody is saying, yes, it is atoms in the diagram. Yeah. Okay. So do human beings have atoms? Yes. Okay. I will explain that. All right. Yes. Human beings, as I said, our bodies are made up of matter. And remember we said matter, atoms will come together to give you what? Matter. Okay. All right. And somebody is saying, what is the difference between the two? Because they are in line. Okay, so let me explain. So what we are seeing is that now listen. Okay. So we are saying look at point, I'm explaining point, look at point D. Point D is saying the atoms of the noble gases exist individually, meaning they cannot combine with other elements so that they can exist as two. But why do they exist individually? They exist individually because they cannot react with other atoms of their own kind. Why? Because their outermost shells, the electrons there are already paired up. And because they are already paired up, they cannot react with what? Another element. So that's why they exist what? In single. Yes. So the diagram, the first one, there are atoms of helium. So you see that they are single, single, single. Then when we look at the what? Molecule of hydrogen, they are two, two. So you see them existing in what? Pairs. So have I explained, have I made my explanation clear to you? Okay, the one who said the atoms, what's the difference? So I've just explained that the atoms of helium and even neon and even argon and even krypton, they cannot form molecules, let's say to give us what? He2. So they cannot form to give us H2 because their outermost shells are already filled up. But whereas you can have hydrogen H2, oxygen molecular gas O2, nitrogen gas is N2, then it means there is still space left to receive other electrons so that they can pair. So that's what we have. Okay. All right. Now, so let's continue. Are you fine with? Yeah, so ask your question so that we can go. Are we fine now? Okay, so then let me proceed. Guys, do you have any questions? All right, now I want you to, guys, listen. You will post your answer. You will post your answer. I want you to write the elements for 10 elements, the symbols for 10 elements in the what? From the periodic table. Everybody you must type. Just, you must, I want you to write symbols, 5 elements, 5 examples of elements that are metals. and 5 examples of elements that are what? Non-metal. So I'm waiting for your answers before we proceed. Yes, guys, are you listening? Yes, so I said I want you to give me 10 elements. And out of the 10 elements, 5 of them should be what? Metals, and 5 of them should be non-metal. Yeah, so Sfiso Gumbi, you have given me 1, so continue. Yes, continue. Uh, yes. Yes, so you must give me 5. 5 examples. So I want, just type here. Okay, I can see. Send them in. Waiting for your typing, since you people said you are typing slowly last time. So I'm just waiting for yes. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go on. Number, and some of you, you have, yes, some of you have not given me the complete examples of the field. So check your spelling for zinc. So okay, guys, keep your answers coming. All right, keep your answers coming. I can see. All right, I'm waiting to see your answers. Keep them posted. Gumbi, your spelling is wrong. Check your answer. Check your spelling for your spelling for nickel. Okay, guys. All right. We have done enough. Okay, so that's very good. You people have done well. So let's go to the next. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, I have got some questions here for you. Number 1 is what is matter? What are the smallest building blocks of matter? Question 2. Are all atoms the same? Question 2b, what are two identical atoms called that exist together? So I will, okay. So post your answers, then we will go to the next slide. Okay, since you people type slowly, I will just pause, I will just wait a bit so that you send in your answers. All right, so keep your answers coming. Yeah, matter is anything that we can see living or not. Okay, give me another answer. Wapele, send me another answer. Okay, keep your answers coming. All right, let's look at the correction for number 1 and 2. Okay, so let's go to questions 3 and 4. Are you guys done? Okay, so let's look at question 3 and question 4. Question 3 says list all the substances from the table that are elements. Write their names and formulae also. And question 4, list all the substances from the table that are compounds. You write their names also. You can see it. Okay. Answer the one you can see. From the table, the one you can see. All right. Yeah, so far your answers are correct, so keep them coming. I'm impressed about your guys. I'm impressed about your performance. So keep them coming. Sharif, you can ask your question. Let me give you what we the corrections, and then we can summarize. Okay, so this are the answers that we're supposed to have. They are proposed answers. Okay. All right. I hope you can make corrections there. Yeah. Okay, guys, can you see the answers? Question one is 1 mark. Question two, 2 marks. Question 1A is 1 mark. Question 1B is another mark. Then question 2A and B, they are all 1 mark, 1 mark. Then question 3 is 2 mark each. When you write your element, and then you will just sum it here. Okay, no problem. Okay. All right, so question 3, if you write the element and the symbol, then that's 2 mark each. So if you are able to write at least a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 4 is fine, or a minimum of 2. All right. Okay. All right, guys. We have come to the end of the lesson. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be looking at pure subatomic particles, our next lesson, and probably pure substances in that order. Okay, it was nice having you around. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, and see you.